Did you know pressing a few spots before bed can make you fall asleep fast? For so many of us, especially after 60, a full night's rest feels like something that belongs to the past. You lie in bed, tired but wired. Your body's begging for sleep, but your mind is racing. Or maybe you fall asleep quickly, only to wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning, staring at the ceiling in silence. Sound familiar? Here's something most people don't realize: your body's already wired with tools that can help you sleep. And I mean naturally, gently, and quickly. In this video, we're going to walk through 7 powerful pressure points you can press before bed. Each one taps into a specific part of your nervous system that helps you unwind, reset, and drift off more easily than you thought possible. Whether you're struggling with anxiety, stiff muscles, menopause-related changes, or just the stress of daily life, these points can help. And no, you don't need any special skills or tools. Just your hands, a few minutes of quiet, and the willingness to listen to your body. So stay with me until the end, because we're not just talking about falling asleep tonight. We're talking about building a simple, peaceful bedtime ritual that can transform the way you rest for years to come. And once you start using these points regularly, you might just find yourself falling asleep faster, staying asleep longer, and waking up with more ease than you've felt in a long time. Let's get started. Point 1, the space between your eyebrows. Start by gently pressing the spot right between your eyebrows. It might seem small and simple, but this area, often referred to in Eastern medicine as the yin-tang point, has an outsized effect on how your mind settles down before bed. When you apply light, steady pressure here, what you're really doing is signaling to your brain that it's time to shift out of overthinking mode. You're slowing the loop of thoughts, worries, and conversations that tend to replay themselves right as your head hits the pillow. For many people, sleep struggles begin not in the body, but in the mind. You feel exhausted, yet your thoughts keep racing about bills, relationships, doctor's appointments, regrets from the day, or anxieties about tomorrow. But by taking just a few seconds to focus on this one spot, pressing gently with the pat of your thumb or middle finger, you help interrupt that cycle. I've spoken to countless folks in their 60s, 70s, and 80s who tell me the same thing. They lie in bed physically still, but mentally on fire. And more often than not, they don't need a new mattress or blackout curtains. They need something that tells their nervous system it's safe now. You can let go. This little spot between your brows does exactly that. When pressed calmly and consistently, it triggers the parasympathetic nervous system, your body's rest and restore gear. You might feel your eyelids grow heavier, your shoulders drop, or your breathing slow just a bit. And often, that's all it takes to begin the descent into sleep. You don't need to press hard. In fact, gentle, steady pressure for 30 to 60 seconds works best. And it's even more effective when you pair it with slow breathing. Try inhaling for a count of 4, exhaling for 6, while keeping your focus on that space between the brows. If you're someone who's used sleep aids or sleep apps and still finds yourself staring at the ceiling, this is something your body already understands. It doesn't cost anything. It doesn't need batteries. It just needs a bit of presence. This point is also particularly helpful for those who carry tension in the forehead, temples, or even behind the eyes. If you notice that you tend to furrow your brow during the day or wake up with lines between your eyebrows, it's a sign you're holding stress here. This simple touch helps release that. And don't worry if you don't notice a dramatic effect the first time. Like any nightly ritual, consistency is key. Over time, your body begins to associate this touch with winding down. It becomes a cue, like dimming the lights or brushing your teeth, that says, day is done. Let's rest now. So give it a try tonight. Just a quiet moment, a single point, and the choice to meet your body where it is. Sometimes that's all sleep has been waiting for. Point 2, the area behind your ears. Now let's move to one of the most quietly powerful areas of your body for promoting deep relaxation, the space just behind your ears, often called the on-me point. The name itself means peaceful sleep, and for good reason. If you place your fingers behind your earlobes and trace upward along the bone, until you find a small indentation near the base of the skull, you've found it. Pressing this area, especially in the evening, helps switch off your fight or flight response and brings your whole system into a calmer, quieter state. Many people don't realize how much stress they carry here. Whether it's from phone use, forward head posture, or just years of tension from life's daily demands, this area behind the ears holds fatigue like a sponge. You may not feel it until you touch it, but once you do, you'll know there's something waiting to release. This spot is especially useful if you tend to feel mentally wired but physically tired, or if you lie in bed feeling like your body can't quite relax all the way. Gently massaging or pressing here on both sides can help the shoulders drop, the jaw unclench, and your nervous system slide into that restful state it's been craving. I remember Ruth, 74 years old and sharp as ever. She told me she hadn't slept through the night in over 5 years. Tried teas, podcasts, even a sound machine. Nothing stuck. One night she tried this point while lying on her back, pressing behind her ears with both hands for just a few minutes. She didn't expect much, but she told me the next morning was the first time she didn't remember falling asleep, just that she woke up 8 hours later feeling human again. The beauty of this point is how accessible it is. You don't need to lie down a certain way or use any tools. You can press it while reading, while watching television, even sitting at the edge of your bed. Use your thumbs or index fingers, applying slow, circular pressure. If you want to enhance the effect, close your eyes while pressing and breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Let your exhale be a little longer than your inhale. As you press, let yourself imagine tension, leaving your head, your neck, your thoughts. This isn't just touch, it's permission. Permission to rest, to soften, to be done for the day. And the more you do this, the more your body begins to expect it. Like any bedtime habit, this one becomes a message. A gentle reminder that sleep isn't something you force, it's something you allow. Especially for older adults dealing with grief, menopause, arthritis, or long-term stress. This pressure point can be one of the simplest ways to say to your body, you're safe now. You can let go. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Point 3, the center of your chest. This next point is one many people overlook, but it holds a deep connection to your breath, your heart, and the emotions that tend to keep you up at night. Right at the center of your chest, between your nipples, there's a spot called the Shanzhong point. In Eastern traditions, this is known as the Sea of Tranquility, and the name fits. When you gently press or tap this area, what you're really doing is helping your chest release tightness, both physical and emotional. It's the kind of tension that builds up slowly, the kind that makes you sigh without knowing why, the kind that lives in your ribs when grief, worry, or even loneliness settle in quietly over the years. So many older adults I talk to describe sleep trouble that isn't just about falling asleep. It's about the emotional weight they're carrying. Thoughts of spouses who've passed, fears about health, regrets about things said or left unsaid. These feelings often live in the chest, not just the mind. Touching this spot isn't magic, but it is a message. It tells your heart, your lungs, your diaphragm, and your nervous system that it's okay to release, that it's okay to breathe slower, that it's okay to feel what you feel and then let it go. I remember talking to Carl, 81 years old. His wife had passed a few years earlier, and he told me that even though the crying had stopped, his sleep never fully came back. He described a pressure in his chest he couldn't explain. I guided him to this point, asked him to press gently, breathe, and even speak out loud. One sentence of release, I did what I could. It wasn't immediate, but over time, this one habit before bed helped him reconnect to a deeper breath, a slower rhythm, a softer heart, and sleep started to return. Not perfectly, but enough to feel human again. You can press the Shanzhong point with 3 or 4 fingers, or even rest your palm flat over your heart center. Apply light pressure. No need to dig. The act of holding this space is often more powerful than the pressure itself. And while you do it, focus on your breath. Let your exhale be long and steady. With each breath out, imagine letting go of what you didn't say, of what you can't change, of what tomorrow might bring. This is especially helpful if you find yourself waking up in the middle of the night with a racing heart or shallow breathing. In those moments, return to this point. It's a gentle reminder that your body knows how to calm itself if you give it the chance. The chest is more than ribs and muscle. It's a place we store memories, hopes, and worries. Point 4, the wrist crease near your palm. Next, bring your attention to your wrist, specifically the soft crease just below your palm on the pinky side. If you follow your pinky finger down to the base of your wrist and press gently there, you'll find what's known as the Shenmen point. That name translates to spirit gate, and it's long been associated with calming the heart and steadying the mind. When you touch this point with slow, gentle pressure, something quiet happens. Your breathing begins to slow. Your heart rate drops ever so slightly. And if you've been feeling anxious, restless, or mentally scattered before bed, this simple act can begin to draw you back into your body, away from the thoughts and back toward rest. This point is especially powerful if your insomnia tends to come with feelings of nervousness or emotional unrest. Maybe you're not just physically uncomfortable, you're carrying something deeper. A conversation you regret, a decision you're wrestling with. That kind of energy has a way of showing up right when you're trying to sleep. The Shenmen point is like a reset button. And the more regularly you press it before bed, the more your body begins to associate that touch with a state of safety and ease. I remember Linda, 67, who told me she often felt waves of panic right as she tried to fall asleep. Not from anything specific, just a sense that something was off. I walked her through a nightly routine: dim the lights, turn off all screens, then sit quietly and press this point on each wrist for 1 minute. Within 2 weeks, she noticed a shift. Not only was she falling asleep faster, but her dreams were less vivid, her nighttime awakenings shorter, and her mornings calmer. It didn't fix everything, but it softened the edges, and sometimes that's all we need to finally drift off. You can use your opposite thumb to press this point, or even try using the tip of your middle finger to gently circle the area. Some people like to pair this with a light breathing rhythm. Inhale for 4, exhale for 8. Others just hold the point while repeating a quiet phrase like "I am safe" or "let it go." You might be surprised by how much emotion is stored in this little spot. For some, pressing here brings tears. For others, yawns. But almost everyone reports a sense of release, as though the body finally gets permission to stop bracing and simply be. And here's something else to consider. This point is also connected to your heart rhythm, which means that consistent stimulation over time may help regulate not just your sleep, but your overall sense of calm during the day. If your hands are often cold, or if you struggle with restless hands at night, this point may be especially helpful. It grounds you, centers you, and draws scattered energy back towards stillness. Remember, the goal isn't to force sleep. It's to create the right environment for your body, your breath, and your emotions to relax naturally. And this small crease in your wrist, It's one of the most powerful doors you can open to get there. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Point 5, the sole of your foot right near the arch. One of the most grounding points in the body for promoting sleep lies right at the bottom of your foot. It's called the Yongquan point, and it sits in the slight dip just below the ball of your foot, between the second and third toes. While it might not seem like a place that could calm your nervous system, this pressure point has been used for centuries to quiet the mind and pull restless energy downward. Why does this work? Because so much of our daily stress gets stuck in the upper body, tight shoulders, racing thoughts, clenched jaws. By pressing this point on the sole, we help draw that energy down and out, bringing a sense of groundedness that's often missing when we're struggling to sleep. If you've ever noticed how hard it is to sleep when your mind is spinning, this point was made for that. It connects directly to the kidney meridian in traditional medicine, which governs rest, fear, and energy balance. Stimulating it has a kind of anchoring effect. You begin to feel more rooted, more still, more connected to your body in the present moment. I once met Thomas, a retired mail carrier who spent decades on his feet but never paid them much attention. He came to me in his early 70s with sleep issues he chalked up to aging. But when I introduced him to this point and encouraged him to massage it gently with his thumbs for a few minutes before bed, something shifted. He said it felt like his whole body exhaled. What surprised him most? That this tiny point on the bottom of his foot could make his shoulders relax and his breath slow without him even trying. Within days, he was falling asleep faster. Within weeks, he was sleeping longer. To find this spot, sit comfortably, cross one leg over the other, and use your thumb to apply circular pressure just below the ball of your foot. You'll know you've found it when it feels a little tender, but not painful, almost like your body is saying, yes, right there. You don't need to press hard. In fact, gentle, consistent movement is more effective. And for many, this moment of foot care becomes a nightly ritual of self-respect, something that reminds you to slow down, reconnect, and honor the vessel that carries you through the world. If you're someone who tends to be in your head a lot, overthinking, planning, replaying conversations, this point is especially for you. It brings your awareness back into your body. It reminds your nervous system that it doesn't need to solve anything right now. It's time to rest. And if your feet tend to feel cold at night, this spot also helps stimulate circulation. Some people like to pair this point with a warm foot soak or even apply a little lavender oil before massaging. Not necessary, but it's a nice way to make the ritual feel even more soothing. So tonight, before you slip under the covers, take a minute to greet your feet. They've carried you for decades. They've worked hard for you. Give them a little thanks, and in return, they might just help carry you into the deepest sleep you've had in a long time. Point 6, the base of your skull. Another incredibly effective point for sleep support lies right at the base of your skull, in the soft indentations, on either side of your neck just below the occipital bone. These are called the Feng Qi points, and stimulating them can bring noticeable relief when your body feels tense and your mind refuses to slow down. This area is where your neck meets the bottom of your head, and it's one of the first places your body tightens when you're under stress. Whether it's poor posture, unresolved tension, or simply the wear and tear of the day, this spot tends to stiffen over time. And that tightness, it doesn't just cause neck aches. It's also deeply linked to headaches, eye strain, shallow breathing, and even insomnia. By gently pressing or massaging these points, you release pressure in a place that's quietly been holding you hostage. Your shoulders drop. Your jaw relaxes. And sometimes you'll even feel a soft wave of fatigue start to rise, like your body is finally letting go of its guard. I remember Evelyn, age 79, who had spent most of her life caring for others, her children, her aging parents, her husband through a long illness. She told me she never realized how much tension she carried until she found these points. The first time she pressed them, she said it felt like her body was finally being heard. You can use your thumbs to press upward into these indentations, or use your knuckles in a circular motion. Do it while sitting or lying down and let your breath guide you. As you inhale, press gently. As you exhale, release slowly. There's no rush here. This is not a place to push through, it's a place to soften into. For people who struggle with sleep because of migraines, nighttime anxiety, or muscle tightness from the shoulders up, these points are essential. You're not just helping your muscles, you're calming the nerves that run directly to your brain, including those that regulate your stress response. Some people find it helpful to add heat to this area before or after the massage, like a warm washcloth or a heating pad for a few minutes. It helps amplify the release, especially if your neck tends to feel rigid or sore. And if you're someone who tosses and turns because you can't get comfortable, try stimulating these points just before getting into bed. It prepares your body to sink into the mattress, and it helps your head feel lighter, less full of thoughts, less burdened by the weight of the day. There's also a deep emotional connection here. This part of the body holds a lot of unspoken pressure, responsibility, control, vigilance. When you soften it, even just for a minute, you send a message to your entire system: you've done enough. It's time to rest. So take your time here. Don't rush through it. You might find this becomes one of your favorite rituals, not just for sleep, but for reconnecting with yourself after a long day. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Point 7, the inside of your ankle. Finally, we come to a point that many overlook, but it holds surprising power, especially for those experiencing sleep disruptions related to stress, hormonal changes, or restlessness. This spot is called the Sanyin point, and you'll find it on the inside of your leg, just above the ankle. To locate it, place 4 fingers above your inner ankle bone. Right at the top of those fingers, along the shin bone's edge, you'll feel a slightly tender area. That's it. This point is known for its deep calming effects, not just physically, but emotionally as well. What makes the Sanyin point so important is that it intersects 3 key energy pathways in the body, those connected to your spleen, liver, and kidney. And while that might sound abstract, what it really means is this: when you press this point, you're helping to regulate systems that directly affect sleep, digestion, hormones, and emotional stability. I met Gloria, 66, who shared that after going through menopause, her sleep had become unpredictable. Some nights she'd be wide awake until 3. Other nights she'd fall asleep fast, but wake up drenched in sweat. Nothing seemed to work long term. But when she started gently pressing this point before bed, something changed. She didn't just sleep better, she felt more grounded, more in tune with her body. This point is especially helpful for women navigating hormonal shifts, but men can benefit just as much, especially those who experience nighttime restlessness, cramps in the legs, or waking up without knowing why. You can press the Sanyin point using your thumb or knuckle, applying medium pressure in a slow, circular motion. Spend about 1 to 2 minutes on each leg. The tenderness you might feel isn't a sign to stop. It's a sign that the point is active. Some people like to pair this point with soothing music, warm tea, or even just a few minutes of silence. That combination, touch, stillness, and breath, can work like a key in a lock. It doesn't force your body to sleep. It simply invites it. And what's beautiful about this spot is how easily it becomes part of your nighttime rhythm. You can press it while sitting on the bed, brushing your teeth, or even once you've tucked yourself under the blanket. No special pose or equipment required, just intention and a willingness to listen inward. If you struggle with a busy mind, tired body, or emotions that seem to rise up right before you fall asleep, this point may become your favorite. It's subtle but powerful, like a friend who says exactly what you need to hear in just one quiet sentence. So as you press here tonight, don't rush. Let it be a moment of kindness toward yourself. Final thoughts. We've just explored 7 powerful points you can press before bed, each one designed to bring your body, mind, and emotions into a more restful state. And while they might seem simple on the surface, together, they form something deeply meaningful in nightly practice of presence, care, and connection to yourself. What stood out to you the most? Maybe it was the point between the eyebrows that quiets your thoughts. Maybe it was the base of the skull that helped your shoulders finally let go. Or maybe it was the spot on your foot that grounded your whole body after a long day. Wherever you start, let it be enough. You don't need to use all 7 points every night. Even just 1 or 2, practiced with consistency and attention, can make a profound difference in how easily you fall asleep and how peacefully you stay there. The truth is, sleep isn't just a physical act. It's a surrender, a soft closing of the day. And in a world that often pulls us in every direction, even in our later years, these quiet moments matter more than ever. So tonight, before you reach for another sleeping pill or scroll endlessly through your phone, try something different. Try your hands. Try your breath. Try meeting your body with the respect and attention it's been waiting for. Because you deserve rest, deep, nourishing, healing rest. And the older we get, the more important that rest becomes, not just for the body, but for the soul. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.